In this video, I'm going to show you how to edit like a pro in Lightroom to go from a very boring photo like this to an amazing black and white that you can sell in gallery. I'm going to show you so many tricks in this video. Your level of black and white is about to explode in a few minutes to come. So stay until the end.
Guys, meet me for free in Los Angeles in 6 amazing locations, places like El Matador, Griffiths Park, downtown LA, Rodeo Drive, for a nice photo walk. I'm promoting a movie called From Paris to Hollywood, coming out June 17th, but it's going to be on pre-sale for June 10. And I need your help to, if you can buy it and get some friends to buy it. I'm trying to get 3,000 copies sold during the pre-sale period. And to thank you for that, I invite you for a free photo walk to get some training from me. There's a whole game where you can win a Fuji camera, a MacBook Air. To promote this movie, you'll find the links under the video. Come and see me in Los Angeles. I want to meet you and take some photo with you. All the information is under the video.
Step number 1, of course, you go to black and white. I don't even count that as a step, but the real step number 1 is the exposure. So on this one, we're gonna open the shadow, we're gonna bring down the highlights, and we're gonna hold on the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on a keyboard, and you want to set a very strong black point. On a nice black and white like this, you want something very serious like that. Boom. And then you're going to reveal the photo with the white slider. So you just move the white slider until you have the exposure that you like. And we're going to take care of the sky. So I'm looking for the foreground. I want to make it bright. Even the sky is a bit too bright. It's totally fine. Remember, the eyes goes to the brightest part of the photo, which is a problem. But now I got an exposure that I kind of like, okay? If you want to see where you started, you can just create a virtual copy of your photo. You can reset it, and this is where we are. So we've done step number 1. Step number 2 on the black and white is very important. It's refining colors, and there's 2 areas where you can refine colors. One is, and the main one is in the temperature. If you move the temperature to white balance, it's going to change drastically the photo. So just play around until you have something that you kind of like. I usually mess around with the temp and I mess around with the tint. And it depends if there's a lot of blue or a lot of warm in the photo, it's going to change the photo a lot. But then you can go all the way down to the black and white mixed. And the black and white mixed, basically what it is, you don't really have to do this step, but it's kind of cool. Is basically the idea is if, let's say, I think there's a lot of blue in this photo, or yeah, look at this, a lot of blue. If I move the blue slider to the right, it's going to get very bright, and to the left, it's going to get very dark. So anything which is blue. So what you can do is you can move the slider like this really quick and see if it does something to your photo. If it does not, you just double click and put it back in the middle. And you keep on moving. Oh, you see, that does something to the orange. So I can like, oh, I want to get a bit more details. Now, rule of thumb, don't try to go over 40. See here, I'm at plus 32, don't go over 40. And you just really quickly move this. Yeah, I kind of like this to the right. I'm not going to go over 40 because if you go over 40, sometimes, not on this one because it's a Leica RAW file and they're incredible RAW file, but if you don't have like a high-end camera and you don't have a lot of details, you might get some weird effects. So good rule of thumb, go like this. And you just move things around like this and see what it does to your photo. If it doesn't do much, you just double click to put it back in the middle. And you see aqua, I'm going to lower a little bit to make things a bit darker. You just move around. You see, oh, that does a lot. So I want to darken the sky, as I said earlier, a little bit like this. And then the purple, I'm going to darken that and that. And that doesn't do much, so I double click. So then you want to see the before and after. Okay, I'm going to reset everything by double clicking really quick on anything that we move. So you double click, boom, boom, puts everything down to 0. Another way of doing that is you just take this tool here. It's actually easier. And you're like, oh, I want to brighten the tower. So I'm going to click and drag up. See, if I drag up, I make the tower brighter. If I drag down. So I think in this one, I actually want to make it darker. And then the sky is too bright. So I can click F, sky becomes bright. And I click down and the sky becomes dark. So it's sort of a more simple way. So that's the step number 2. Step number 1 is the exposure. Step number 2 is actually just white balance. And step number 3 is the refine the black and white, which we did. Step number 4, and that's the most important step of all, is the dodge and burn. So on this one, I want to dodge and burn the sky a lot. So what I want to do, and this is a great example, that's why I picked this photo. I want to make a big gradient here, and I want to darken the sky. Okay, the reason I want to do that is I want people to go inside of the photo. But you see, here is my problem. When I do that, check this out. It makes the tower darker also. It doesn't just affect the sky. I only want to darken the sky. So what you can do is you can click here, 3 dots, intersect mask with sky. Check this out. 3 dots, intersect mask with select sky. And check this out. It's going to make the tower brighter. Now it only influences the sky. Isn't that crazy? So I'm actually going to do a 2 pass. I'm going to do a first pass where I kind of make the sky a bit darker like this, but I'm taking out the tower in real time. Okay, so I make the whole sky a bit darker, maybe not so much, just a little bit darker. And then I do a second one for the very top of the photo, where I'm going to really make it a bit darker here, just the very top of the photo, because I really want people to focus inside of the photo like that, and maybe even orient it like this, because I think it's a bit too bright on the right side. I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Again, I can do the 3 dots, intersect mask with sky, so it doesn't, you see, boom, it makes this brighter, which is really cool. And so that's the first step of Dodge and Burn. I want to do 2 more steps of Dodge and Burn. Another step I want to do is I want to use the radial gradient. That way you know all the local tools. I'm going to make a big gradient here, and I'm going to make this a bit brighter because I want people to look inside of my photo here. But if I do that, the problem is that I'm making this brighter. I just want to make the sky. So that we can apply the same trick here by going 3 dots, intersect mask with sky. And by doing that, this is going to use AI, check this out, to make the mask go behind the buildings. I'm only influencing the sky. Isn't that crazy? In real time, it masks out this and this. Look at this, before, after. And so it helps me to focus people here inside, okay? Well, I want to show you something really cool, which is optional, but I want to show you how to use the brush. So if you go here and you take the brush, and let's say the feather is all the way down to 100, flow and density all the way down to 100, which would be a big mistake, and a very strong exposure. If I start brushing on my photo, it's going to do that, which is not good. But if I now put the feather all the way to 100 and I start brushing, it's going to do that, which is better. But now, if I lower the flow and density and I brush right under, it's going to be a less visible, which is good. And now, if I actually lower the exposure of the whole thing and go under 0.5, you see that value here? 0.5, then it's hardly visible. Check this out. I'm going to delete all of that nonsense, and I'm going to take a brush. Remember, feather all the way to 100, flow and density in the 70s. And now I can just go in there and say, ooh, I want to add a little bit. Let's go to 0.5, 0.6, a little bit of white here on this one. And what I do, I don't do it everywhere. I just do it in some location, and I call that complexifying the light. But maybe you can go, you can't see much, like go maybe all the way to 0.9, but not more. Check it out, before and after. And what it does, it makes the lights a little more complex, okay? And what you can do is do several brushes. So I like what I did there. When you're happy, just do another brush. Make sure you got 100, 70, 70. And then I'm like, oh, I want to make this girl a little more visible. So I'm going to erase that. I want to make this a little more visible, but that's kind of too... I'm just making the reflection a bit more visible. It's a bit strong, so I'm going to lower that. And voila, just like that. And now check it out. You can see individually, that's the top mask, that's the right corner mask, that's the mask inside of the photo. Why is it off? Okay, no, it's on. That's the mask, the first brush. It's a little strong, so I'm going to lower that. And then that's the last brush. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. So now we're ready for the step 5 of this formula called the natural drama formula. Step 5 is I want to make the photo straight and I want to correct anything in Photoshop. So first I'm going to go here and I want to keep this lady here. This lady is kind of cool because she's like in white and she just stands out and it gives how big the place is. So I want to erase this lady here. So I'm going to brush over her like this and I'm going to go to make sure that use generative AI is on and click on remove. Now, I find that in Lightroom, you get much better result if you do person by person. You see, it did something weird here. I just want to take her out. I don't know why it's doing that. You see, it did not remove the person. So let's delete that. And that's so annoying. Let's make maybe a smaller selection. I really want to get rid of the person. And let's make a bigger selection and see if it gets it. And I want to remove that person. Okay, this time it worked. You see, it's kind of a hit and miss here. So I'm going to close that so you can see, okay, it took out the person, sorry. And I'm going to zoom in here. I want to get rid of all these people. So I'm going to do that really quick so I don't want to bore you, but I go one by one. Generative AI is on, and let's go. I mean, group by group. On this one, I tried 3 at the same time. I want to see if it can work. You see, it didn't work. It added a guy there. I don't want that. So I'm going to have to just erase that and just do it. You have to do it like sometime 2 or 3 times until you get the result. You see, it didn't work again because I selected 2. So this one, I'm going to do it again. And boom, it worked. You see, you really have to do them one by one. So that's a little trick. But now we have another issue. The whole photo is crooked. And unfortunately, if I try to make it straight by going to auto here, look what's going to happen. This is going to hit here, and I don't want that. Like, okay, the photo is straight, but now I'm missing that. So how can we solve that? Thank you for asking. What I'm going to do is I don't have a choice. I'm going to go to Photoshop. I'm going to right click, edit, Photoshop 2025, and I'm just going to add a little more sky. So here's the photo. Okay, I'm going to zoom out so you can see. I'm going to go here into the crop tool, and I'm going to make sure to use the option called Generative Expand. And I'm going to click here to add a bit more space above the photo, and that's going to use AI to create the missing sky. It's giving me 3 options, option 1, 2, and 3. I actually like option, okay, I choose option 2. Okay, and now all I'm gonna do is this, and I'm gonna go File, Close to go back into Lightroom. And now that I've used that feature, now that I've added that sky, here's the photo with a bit more sky, I can go down here and I can press Auto and check it out, boom. And now I don't get that effect. And you can, because it added a sky, I can go back in here and do some final touch. I'm like, oh, I want to burn even more the bottom of the photo. It's just like a little final touch. Also on this step, I want to talk to you about sharpening. And then, make sure you get my preset, because if you get my preset, you do all of that in one click, almost. It's crazy. And plus I have with a preset, you're going to get a whole bunch of raw files. I'm going to explain you how it works. It's just watch the video on there if you want to get the free preset. You will have them forever. Okay, I want to talk to you about sharpening. So sharpening on this one, what would I do on sharpening? I don't want the sky to be too much sharpened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to details. And I know I shot this at 100 ISO, so I'm just going to put 90 of sharpening. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in to show you. You see, I don't know if you can tell, there's a bit of a grain here on the sky. So I'm just going to hold on the Option key, and I'm going to move the masking to the right until what you see in white is going to get sharpened. In black, nothing is going to get sharpened. So I just want to sharpen the edges. And now we've got a very clean sky and a very sharp city. And that's about it, what I do. I mean, this was shot on the Leica Q3, and it's an extremely sharp photo. It's insane. You'll see, if you actually go see my masterclass, I'm going to give you a lot of Leica raw file to play around with. But basically, this is where we are. So we went from that kind of boring photo to this photo that I'm going to sell in over 120 galleries around the world. And that's what I would deliver to the gallery. I hope you learned something. Make sure you subscribe because I got a crazy video coming up. Merci beaucoup, mesdames et messieurs. I'll see you very soon.